Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and we are here with day 17 of the 2021 Christmas series. Today I'm going to be featuring Brutus Monroe and this beautiful but unique stamp set. It is called Joy to the World. I love the scribble, the sketchiness of this image. And for today, I'm actually going to use my watercolor brush markers by Arteza. Haven't used those in a while, so I'm positioning my piece. I'm using a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock, the Canson XL. Bristol smooth cardstock works best when it comes to your real brush markers, whether it's Arteza or the Zigs. You get a better blend on them. Not saying that you can't use them on watercolor, but they do seem to interact better on this type of cardstock. This cardstock can also take a lot of water, so that's why this is recommended, because you are going to be adding water after you put the color down. At least that's how I work with them. I stamped my image using my VersaFine black. Again, using that sand eraser. I don't know why I keep reaching for it, because it just does not work for me. I'm not a fan of that sand eraser, but you know, I'm always saying, you know, it could be operator error, which it usually is. I'm covering this image using my clear Recollections embossing powder. I do want to shine to this, and I'm going to heat set that. Whenever I'm watercoloring, whether it's with watercolors or my real brush markers, I do like to have that barrier of the heat embossed line. Then I don't have to worry about colors bleeding, being careful that I can't work next to this color or anything else like that. Especially when making our cards for the holidays. You know, sometimes we have to do mass production, and if you're like me, I wait till the last minute. So yeah, I don't have time to worry about what's next to each other. So here you can see I'm just putting the color down. I went straight down the line, and I'm using a watercolor brush, or excuse me, a water brush, to pull out that color along the side. I am not worrying about, since these are sketchy, it's a sketchy design. It's a very loose sketch image. I'm not worrying about staying in the lines too much, especially for that tree. I'm just having fun adding the color and blending them together. This image also gives you that hatching, those sketchy lines where they're closer together. That's where it's darker, so that kind of helps you where to put more pigment. And that's what I'm following. And then I'm just taking that out and pulling it to the center, making sure that that's staying light. I'm not looking for a perfect blend on these colors either. Just like the image is sketchy and loose, I want my watercolors to look that way as well. So when they dry, they kind of have that same image as well, or that same look and feel, which I really am enjoying. I just grabbed some random colors to have fun. Sometimes I did choose two colors of something, but otherwise I'm just sticking with one color to blend that out. You can see that I'm keeping it darker there, and then I'm just using that brush to pull that pigment around, but making sure the concentrated stays in the areas where I put that down. Not using so many traditional colors, coming in with some aquas, coming in with a peach, just to brighten up the image. I will come in with a gray for the bottom to show the shadow of the images. And again, being very just as sketchy as that image, then I'll come in with the water and just blend all of that out to give that shadow so that they're not kind of floating up in that air. I'm actually also going to add some yellow into those lines outside of the image to show a glow, so that it'll give it that impression as well. Once my image is completed, I'm going to add the sentiment. That I'm going to heat emboss in gold. So I have that area down at the bottom. I used my anti-static powder by Brutus Monroe down onto the bottom. And I'm going to stamp this a couple times just to make sure I have a good impression. And then I'll come in with my Recollections gold embossing powder, and I will heat set that. This is an embossing powder that I just have luck with. It's not splotchy. After I heat set it, I get a great smooth impression, and I don't have to stamp multiple times. I struggle with embossing powders and getting that smooth look. But I will say with the Recollections, I really don't. With their metallics. Yes. So I added some double-sided tape, and I'm going to add some glue to the top of that because I'm going to be adhering this onto a gold glitter cardstock, and I want to make sure that it does adhere. So adding the double-sided tape along with glue will help I get a good secure bond. I'm using my double-sided film tape by Uline. This stuff is not forgiving. It is extremely strong. It is awesome. But because I did add water to this panel, this will help straighten out that panel once I adhere it to the black mat. This card is a 6x6 card. And again, the card base that I'm using is by Tonic Studios. I love their card bases because they have those odd sizes, the 6x6, the 7x7s. And I do enjoy those sizes for my cards. It's more real estate that you can create on. I'm adding some glitter gems by Trinity and just adding a few of those around the sentiment and also around the image just to add even more sparkle to our card. So I do hope you enjoyed today's project, day 17, featuring Brutus Monroe. Really liked this image, and I kept on looking at it and saying, you know, not quite sure what I could do, but I really had fun using my real brush markers. It's been a while, and it was just fun to color that image in, and you can see it took no time at all. All the products that I used will be listed down below, and as long as they're available, you'll see the link. If they're not, I will let you know. Again, dig into your stash. That's what this year's about. Use what we have. Take the techniques that we show and apply them to what's in our stash. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave those down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope everyone's enjoying the holiday season and getting ready to spend time with our family and friends. But remember what's most important. Always be creative. Talk with you on day 18.